Hey, good morning, YouTube subscribers. I'm going to try to do this while I'm walking, and I'm hoping I can get everything out in one message. I'm going to just give you some points to help, but I do want to say a few things. First, I'm working on a new book. The title is Addiction. Actually, it's Help, I'm Addicted. Overcoming the cravings that are overcoming you. So look for that hopefully within the end of the year here, 2019. Also, I'm going to put the book Feasting and Fasting in the comments line there, or the subject line of this description, I should say. And that will really help answer a lot of these questions. Again, it's a free download. These people crack me up that say, oh, you're mentioning a book. You always mention a book. Yeah, it's free download to help people. So enough said on that one, but probably just convicted. So my routine, I could spend an hour on this, but here's what you need to know. First, and again, I'm coming from a biblical perspective, a God-centered perspective. He has to be the foundation. So in the morning, I personally, I think mornings are the best. I'm not an evening person. I know others are, praise God, but I think it's always good to start your morning with God. So I'm leery of those who put working out and fitness before the relationship with God. So if I don't have that in the morning, I don't work out. The priority is seeking God. And fortunately, I take long walks out here in the desert. There's some rattlesnakes, coyotes, scorpions now and then. So, but it's nice to get away. So find a deserted place somewhere. Somehow seek God in the morning, read, worship. And then what I do is my type of workout or my type of exercise program or diet is this. It's based on how we were created by a creator. So that's why I look at things a little bit differently. Paleo, keto, carbs, protein, fat, macronutrient, density, high intensity interval training, core stabilization training. Just find something that works for you on how you were created. So some days I'll jog. This hill's a very big hill. I'll jog up this hill a few times. Other times I'll take a long walk. It's adaptation. Your body adapts to what you're doing. Sometimes I'll bike ride. The key is what you need to do is start moving. You might say, Shane, I've got 100 pounds to lose. I've blown it. You might be hungover right now. You might be on medication. You might have an injury. Let me tell you, get back up and finish strong. Most of us, including myself, fall often and get off track, eat what we shouldn't eat, do what we shouldn't do, and the key is to get back up on track. That's how people succeed. So do that. Start making right choices. So as far as my eating program, again, it's all outlined in the fasting book and feasting book, but this should help some people. How did God create us? Personally, I think that plant-based, organic plant-based food that's not sprayed with herbicides, fungicides, pesticides. Now, even organic, though, is sprayed with what they call natural pesticides, and you still want to wash it and stuff, but I'd rather take that instead of sprayed produce when you can. I know it's expensive, but look for the sales. So I eat tons of plant-based protein, not protein, but even carbohydrates. I'm actually going to do a video here shortly. I'm doing 30 days of no meat or dairy. If you know me, you've read the book. I don't have a problem with a little bit of clean meat, a little bit of clean dairy, especially if it's not pasteurized. Ghee, as butter, or goat's milk, cow milk, different things that's not pasteurized, has all the vital enzymes and nutrients in it. But even then, there's a lot of studies. I mean, just look at the research that talks about inflammation, heart disease. But I personally believe it's due to the tons of sugar we're eating. So if you have kids, be careful. You're giving them way too much sugar. The sugar, the processed foods, the chemicals, all the stuff we're eating is causing the disease. Not necessarily meat and dairy per se, but I think we need to be very minimal on meat and dairy. God did allow it, yes, after the flood, but and we see Jesus eating fish and, of course, lamb, I'm sure, in the Passover and different things in moderation. Now, they also walked miles and miles and miles a day. They were very active. So that's what's missing. That sedentary lifestyle is not healthy. Having an extra spare tire is not healthy. So we have to look at this as the whole picture. Well, Shane, is a little bit of meat and dairy bad? Well, are you moving? Are you getting those blood vessels pumping, the heart moving, cardiovascular training? If not, then you've got to be very careful on what you consume. So back to the question. Right now, I'm not having that, but if I do have it, I might have a little bit of raw almond or cow's milk, or a little bit of chicken breast with the salad, but that's my whole meat and dairy for the day. What I am doing, what I've been doing for a while that I love, many of you know, it's called, and I'm sure many of you researching this better than I have, on intermittent fasting. So for example, last night I ate at 8 o'clock. Last night I had about a 3-4 hour window, 4 to 8 o'clock at night. My last meal was 8 o'clock at night, pretty big meal. Tacos, plant-based tacos, tons of veggies, tons of fruit. I actually had some almond milk with a lot of strawberries and a little bit of manuka honey. And when you're giving your body what it needs, the right nutrients, you're not craving these sweets. So that was my last meal, 8 o'clock at night. It's 9 in the morning here, so 13 hours. I'll probably go a few more hours, maybe later after lunch and eat. But it really is good for your body. Intermittent fasting, it's how we were designed. You stay focused, you don't stay full. There's no mid-morning highs and lows, and there's no need to take a nap. But also, as you know, I've weaned off coffee many months ago, and praise God, don't have any desire for it. I will have a couple cups of decaf, organic, that has been processed, not with chemicals, but through the water processing. So it's pretty clean on that, and that's all I have in the morning. If you can have a little bit of green tea, it has a little bit of caffeine, that's fine. So here's my point. Work up to intermittent fasting. You don't need to eat every 3 hours or when the body craves it. King's stomach is not in control, you are. So that's my thought is begin, okay, I'm gonna miss breakfast. It's gonna be hard. This was a process for me. It took a while to get my body adapted to this. And then go out and exercise, move, walk, start by walking. If you can do weightlifting, it's so easy. Sometimes I'll go to the gym, very rarely now. I don't like the environment there. I don't think it's a healthy environment for obvious reasons. But even at home, you can do things. You can do, squats at home, and you have those kettlebells where they're raising the kettlebells up and they're keeping that heart rate up. A lot of sit-ups, triceps. You can just do tricep extensions. You can do bench pressing. There's a lot of things, just even in moderation, just lean up against a desk and do push-ups, and just stay moving, keep moving throughout the day. Get off the computer, unhook the TV. That's the problem. We are very sedentary. We don't move much. In addition to that, we eat the wrong foods. We eat the foods that make us want more wrong foods. We drink the things that make us want more cravings for sugar, such as caffeine and coffee, in my opinion, made me have a sweet tooth big time. So, and it's all connected. Putting your body, like Paul said, I discipline my body, I bring it into subjection, lest when I preach to others, I become disqualified. When you discipline your body, it helps in all other areas. You'll notice a person will be addicted to pornography when they're not disciplining their body. They'll be addicted to alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, because it's all connected. It's a stronghold. That's why disciplining the body and moving and getting out and being active is so important. So as far as training, maybe I'll go an hour in the morning, I'll pray, or the next day I'll do things at home, maybe just some quick weights. And the reason I do it, gone are the days of having a six-pack. Gone are the days of bench pressing 400 pounds. Now I'll be lucky to get 150 pounds up if I even do that. I'm doing it to feel better and to serve better, serve my family, serve the church. As a pastor, I feel 10 times better. I was 240 pounds if you look at some of the old videos. Now I'm around 205. I feel better, tons of energy. I want to go out and help people, serve people. So it just makes me feel better. Gone are those days of wanting to look good. I mean, obviously you stay lean and you person can look okay, but my 100-pound dumbbells are collecting dust and they're rusting, and I use them as a doorstop from when I used to do just shoulder press with 100-pound dumbbells in the heyday, and wouldn't trade it for anything. I don't want to go back to that. And it's also a good conversation piece when you have a 100-pound dumbbell laying around. So anyway, we don't do it to look better and to feel, well, I guess it's okay to look a little better for your spouse, or feel better. It's actually all of that, to feel better about myself and to feel better about yourself, and to feed the body what it needs. The body doesn't need junk and all this processed foods. What do I do for sweets? Well, you would be amazed at what cacao tastes like with honey, and homemade cookies with almonds, and I mean it's a wonderful. And actually, your taste buds start to change. If I drink a Diet Pepsi or Dr. Pepper, just a sip, it's been a long time, but it's just gross to me. A hamburger, big fatty greasy, it doesn't do what it used to do. So with that said, get back on track. Start with the little steps. Begin cleaning out your pantry, cleaning out your diet. Start moving more, exercising a little bit more. So if I didn't finish the question, later today I'll eat probably a big salad. It has everything on it from cucumbers to tomatoes to broccoli to cauliflower to all, you name it. Homemade dressing, salad dressing, so it doesn't have a lot of the chemicals. Big salad dressing, probably with some beans as my protein. And protein's overrated, by the way. You don't need tons of protein. Just look at the studies. That's all I do. Look at the studies, see how you feel. Inflammation, you'll feel better. Cardiovascular, but be careful. The first week is going to be extremely difficult. You've got withdrawals. You've got the body just fights it. That's why people don't move forward. They don't push through the difficult seasons. So to me, it's far better to experience the pain of discipline than the pain of regret. So I'm going to be praying for you. Just step out in the right direction and you'll get there. You just have to keep falling forward. You don't fall and then, oh, let me just go back to my old way. No, you fall and get back up on track, and you keep moving, you keep fighting. So I'm also going to maybe put a message in the description here, a message I gave Wednesday night about that. But so that's what I'll do later in the day. Big salad with the beans. Then I'll still be hungry. I'll have some plums and maybe a quarter cup of Brazil nuts or cashews or almonds. Later, maybe a smoothie, plant-based protein powder with banana, homemade almond milk. And we prepare our meals, so you might say, oh, that's too much work. It's not, because I don't eat earlier in the day. I don't have to drive to fast food. I don't feel like sleeping all the time. I'm not lethargic. It actually feels really good to be in control. Again, I don't do things perfectly. After I make this video, I'm sure I won't do things perfectly, but we get back on track and we fight again. So that's my diet in a nutshell and my workout routine in a nutshell. I just do something. I listen to worship music that's powerful while I'm jogging. Again, there's the mountain up there. So you get away, get out somehow, ride a bike. If you can't do anything, if you're a mom, this morning I had the baby, and what'd I do? Squats with the baby. Squats with the baby. And you do squats and you move. You move with that child and you just become an active person. It might require disconnecting the television or getting off the computer. And one step in the right direction begins to fuel other steps in the right direction. So that's the big takeaway from this, is to get up and fight again. Get up. Nobody that's in good shape, nobody that's succeed in this area has not